Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Spill the D. I'm Rick, one of your hosts, and I'm joined, as always, with my lovely co-host, Gina. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good myself.
We're getting so much closer to our next weekend in Disney, and
I know.
I'm pumped.
I can't stop thinking about it.
I know. I'm like, maybe I'll just leave work forever and go to Disney today. It's fine. Why not?
Any chance I get at work, I bring it up. I'm like, I gotta make sure I get as many days as I can. I'm off next Friday because I'm going to Florida.
For 3 days. It's going to be the quickest trip. Dang honeymoon taking all of our days.
That's okay. That'll be fun, too. Plus, we're going to Disneyland Paris, so.
This is true.
If I have to take a few days off of my Disney World vacation to be able to go to Disneyland Paris, I can accept that.
I respect that. I respect that.
That's a fair trade-off, in my opinion.
But because we are so excited to be going to Walt Disney World soon, any episode that we come up with has been pre-Disney. So last week we talked about things that you should buy before your Walt Disney World or even Disneyland vacation. Mm-hmm. And today we are giving you a pre-Disney checklist. Now this is going to be primarily Walt Disney World. Some of it might cross over to Disneyland, but this is if you are planning a Walt Disney World vacation. This is everything you need to do leading up to that vacation from up to a year plus out. Mm-hmm. Before we do that, we got 2 pieces of Disney news that can affect your Disney vacation, so let's do it. Go ahead.
Some big stuff. So we got a lot of discounts. A lot of discounts here. So first thing we have is Disney Visa card holders are going to get a free dining plan if you book a 4-night, 4-day vacation package with park hopper tickets. Only on select nights, July, September, and December.
It's so specific.
It's so very specific.
And you have to use your card to book the package to get the deal.
Yeah, it's very specific, but a good deal if you can manage to make these very specific timelines work. Second is Florida residents are going to receive up to 30% off select rooms on select nights, July through October. Little less specific.
A little less specific, and a great deal if you're a Florida resident because there's already this deal, and then on top of that, there's Florida discount tickets. So, yeah.
Third, we have Stay Longer and Save More. This is essentially the same discount as the one that the Florida residents get. Also, select nights July through October, you get 30% off. I'm assuming there's different days, though, since these are 2 separate discounts.
Maybe it's might not be different days, and maybe like different percentages. So like there might be more offered to Florida residents than there is to everybody else. Gotcha. You know what I mean?
Okay. And another one, select nights July through October. Annual pass holders are going to receive up to 35% off on select rooms, select nights in these months as well.
Disney wants you there in the summer and the fall.
They want you there. And guess what? People are going to be there because people are always there in the middle of the summer.
And it's hot, but that's okay. Some great discounts, though, all recently released, so we love to hear this. We love a good deal. Never pay full price for anything, let alone Disney.
Exactly.
All right, and our next piece of news, I want to preface this with, we have never used this, so we do not have a complete understanding of it, and Disney has not completely released everything about it, so this is going to be a very shortened version of this news.
Pretty vague, but
yes.
Headline, basically, is what it's going to be.
So, Disney's Disability Access Service. This is a service that Disney offers for people who may not be able to stand in line to be able to get a return time and come back later. Similar to, I'll say, like Genie Plus, but without actually paying for it. And then it's definitely done extremely differently. I'm really trying to word this like the best way possible so that it makes the most sense. So, this system, some people over the past few years have heard about this and have taken advantage of this system to the point where I heard a mom, I think I was getting my nails done. I can't remember. It was around here somewhere.
I think you might have been.
This mom was bragging to these other people about how they went to Disney and she made up her child's disability or made it sound worse than it was so that way they could cut the lines and use the disability access service, which is absolutely terrible.
That's horrible.
And I think so most people that you ask who know of this system know someone who has done that, who has cheated this system, which is terrible. So Disney has caught on to this, has caught on to the moms in the nail salon, bragging about it, telling other people they need to do it.
Yeah.
And we actually saw Disney said that the usage of this pass has tripled in the last 5 years.
Jeez.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, that is insane.
So they are trying to crack down and make sure that the people who are using it are the people who absolutely need it and that it's not being taken advantage of. So to do this, starting May 20th in Disney World and June 17th in Disneyland, there are going to be some changes. So what they are doing is Disney is going to be teaming up with Inspire Health Alliances, health professionals to determine who is eligible for this. They also have changed the wording on what it is. So now on the Disney website, this is quote for quote,
Word for word.
word for word. There's definitely a quote. I don't know. Word for word from there. It says DAS is one of the programs offered at Walt Disney World theme parks intended to accommodate only those guests who, due to a developmental disability like autism or similar, are unable to wait in a conventional queue for an extended period of time. It did not specify autism or similar previously. So this is how they're trying to kind of crack down a little bit on it. Your enrollment after these dates is going to be good for 120 days rather than, I believe, 30 to 60 days, what it is now. Again, I haven't used it or been with any group who've used it, so I'm not 100% sure on that. And they are now making it only for immediate family members or no more than 4 people.
So you don't have big groups of people.
So your group
of it.
So when our family goes and there's 15 people, all 15 people aren't going to be going through because it won't be considered immediate family going through it because there's extended family in there. Yep. The stipulation for this was if there are minors minors as the additional people. So if you have 4 kids, all 6 of you are going to be able to go through. But they're cracking down on the amount of people attached to the person with the disabilities DAS pass.
It's fair. Should be used for its intended purpose and not being taken advantage of. So I don't have any issues with the updates to it.
Yeah, I don't really know enough about to have any issues with it. I just hope that this hope it helps people who really need it be able to get it and use it for what it's used for. But I'll stop there because like I said, they haven't put out all of the information on it yet, and I don't want to misspeak on it and give people the wrong information. So we'll just stop there. And we'll talk about a Disney planning checklist. So when you're planning for Disney, what do you do?
You say, let's go to Disney, and then you do everything from there.
I know, I just want to hear you say that. Okay. Our Disney planning checklist. We're going to go in chronological order starting from over a year out. So, 1 year out. First thing you can do, real easy, you can call your travel agent.
And for this, we're going to recommend that you call 407. We always do, we always will. 407 is a Disney Universal Orlando travel agency. They book and plan family vacations to destinations such as Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando, and so many other places. Their services are 100% free, and you can go to www.407vacations.com right now and get a free quote from one of their agents. Highly recommend it. They're going to know everything about the discounts that we mentioned earlier. They're going to know everything we're going through right now on this checklist. They probably have the exact same thing written out. But we're just telling it to you here. So give them a call and get your trip planned. July through October on select dates and select nights.
Or July, September, and December if you have a Disney credit card. Okay, so that is technically number 1. However, the next few that I'm going to go through, you could kind of figure this out before you call your travel agent. Either they're going to help you figure this out, or you can figure this out as a family or as adults, whatever you want to do before you call them. You need to pick when you want to go.
It's a big one.
Very big one, because there's a lot of factors to take into consideration with this. Do you have kids? Do you want to take them out of school? Is there a certain holiday that you want to be there on, or a holiday that you want to make sure that you avoid being there on? Maybe you've always wanted to see Disney at Christmas. Maybe no part of you wants to spend all the money for the Christmas crowds. The weather. Do you want to go at a cooler time of year? January and February in Orlando? Beautiful. Gorgeous. It is perfect. If you're on a good day, it's like sweatshirt and shorts weather. It's just so great. I mean, you get the really cold days too. Sometimes it is like you need pants, but still beautiful compared to the 104 degrees and 90% humidity that you get in July.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
And the other thing is prices. Disney uses a system where their prices change based off of the day, based off the crowds.
Yeah.
What was Wendy's going to call it?
Oh, I don't remember, but it's
Surge.
surge pricing.
Surge pricing. It's basically what Disney does the more crowded times of year. If you're there at Christmas, it's going to cost more than if you're there in February. So these are all things to take into consideration when you're trying to pick when you want to go and when you want your Disney vacation to be.
Yeah. Next, we're gonna, and this might be your first thing. This might be
these are in no order for this.
Yeah, no specific order, but decide on a budget. Doesn't have to be a super tight budget, but at least a rough budget of kind of where you're hoping to keep the price within. This is going to be good for when you call your travel agent. They'll be able to help you get either the right hotel. They'll be able to help you book travel that's going to be maybe a little bit cheaper and more affordable if you have constraints on how much you're planning on spending. They'll be able to help you pick out your hotel, whether you want to be in a moderate resort, a deluxe resort, or a value resort,
or off property. If you want to save some money and stay off Disney property, they can help you with that too.
They will do that. They'll help you decide based off of all that, if you are going to stay off property, how much it would cost for you to get to Disney property if you do stay off property. All these things are stuff that they're going to be able to help you with. And again, it doesn't have to be a specific budget, but go in with an idea, and then you guys can workshop from there.
And how long you want to go is also a very important thing to figure out here. And it's so funny because I feel like either you can pick how long and then get your budget off that, or pick your budget and get how long off of that. It's like, what's important to you? So make sure you get an idea of how long you're able to get off work for.
Yeah.
If you only have a few PTO days left, you got to work around it. So when you're going, how long you want to go for, and how much you're willing to spend.
Yeah.
All of these are so important and can go hand in hand. And when you're done that, this is when the hotel comes in, picking your hotel. Where are you staying? Like Rick said, are you staying at a value, a deluxe, or a moderate? On or off property? All of these things, you can go in to your travel agent and say, this is what I want, and hand this to them. Or you can go in and say, help me pick all of these things.
I have no idea what I'm doing. Please help.
Please help. Even if you go in with when you want to go, how long, and a budget, they'll help you with the hotel.
Yeah, the rest can get figured out.
Yes.
Just keep in mind, as with anything, the longer you stay, the more it's going to be. So don't go in with the expectation that you're going to spend $100 a person to stay for a week.
Can you imagine?
That would be amazing.
That'd be so good.
Yeah, it would be really good.
Like a last-minute cruise. And the last thing we have for a year plus out, book your trip.
Just do it.
Just do it. Now, if you're going to book your trip, if you're going to do a room and ticket package, you actually only need a $200 deposit to get it booked. And it's going to be fully refundable for up to 30 days out from the vacation. So book your trip, $200. If you got it, book it and pay it off as you go.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot easier to pay for your trip over the course of 12 months than it is to pay it off in 1 month. So.
It can even be more than a year out. Right now, you can book Disney vacations up until October of 2025.
It's a long time.
It's a very long time to be able to pay off your vacation. Put a few $100 a month on it. Do what you need to do. Buy some gift cards on the way. You'll be good to go.
Yeah.
So this year plus out checklist part, this can honestly be done at any point when you're ready to book your trip.
Yeah.
All right, let's go 3 to 6 months out.
We're close.
I know. 6 months out is like...
The excitement is starting to build.
6 months out feels so far, and 3 months feels so close.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I get to 6 months, though, I'm like, almost there.
I'm halfway there.
Almost there.
I'm going to be at Disney in just 6 months.
Like, in my mind, we're going to California in like 3 weeks.
Oh, you know what? That's fair, actually. No, I respect that.
Because that's like, what, 6 months out? Almost.
Yeah. And I agree. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to California soon. So, yeah, I agree with that. And I feel like with Disney vacations, like, you wait so long for them. Like, obviously, there's weird people like us who will make it multiple weekends a year, one long trip and 2 weekends. Like, we'll do weird, like, ridiculous things like that.
Yeah.
But most people and the average person going to Disney, it's once a year. It's every 2 years, every 3 years. So...
the excitement building for that at 6 months out, you're there.
You're so close.
You're pretty much there already.
That's amazing. All right, so when you get to this point, here's what we're going to have you do. or here's what you really should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
You should be researching extras and dining. Where do you want to eat? Are there any extras you want to add? Do you have a little kid who you think would love to do the Bippity Boppity Boutique?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do a fireworks cruise, a dessert party? Do you want to go to one of the holiday parties? Do you want to go to the Christmas party or the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party? Like, these are things you should be researching and starting to add that into your budget to decide if you want to do them.
Mm-hmm. Don't have to pay for them quite yet, but just deciding if you want to do it.
Actually, I take back what I said. The holiday parties, if you want to do a very Merry Christmas party or Mickey Just Not So Scary, if the tickets are already being sold, book those then.
Yeah, as soon as you see a ticket for those, book them, because once they sell out, they're sold out.
Yes, if you're doing your vacation package and you see it, buy it. Like, if you know that's what you want to do, buy it. Don't hesitate on that one, because they do sell out very quickly, especially as it gets closer to the holidays.
Yeah. You don't want to end up stuck with, like, a Halloween party in the beginning of September, because that's not Halloween.
That is not what I meant by that.
That's what I mean by that.
No, because if your vacation's in September, your vacation's in September.
Yeah. But if you're planning your vacation around being there for Halloween.
That's true, but then that would go in the 1+ year out. Because that would go into decide on pick when you want to go as a holiday matter.
So complicated.
There's a whole science to Disney planning.
That's why I don't do it.
So we have the travel agents.
All those memes you see online about where it's like me planning the whole trip and then my husband just showing up, that's exactly what happens.
You heard of Passenger Princess? Have you heard of a theme park princess? Because it's Rick.
I'm a theme park princess. I do absolutely nothing when it comes to planning. I just trust you.
No, you usually have a pretty good idea of what food you want to eat.
Well, yeah, but like as far as the important money stuff.
But again, for this time period, you do want to be looking into what foods you want to eat, because the window for booking your dining will be coming up shortly. Mm-hmm. Another thing that you want to do, download My Disney Experience, and if you don't already have an account, create an account. You should be creating the account when you book the trip. But if for some reason you made it through without doing that, create an account. That really is going to be one of the first things that you do when you start booking your Walt Disney World vacation. Mm-hmm. I recommend playing around on My Disney Experience. Press all of the buttons. Do everything that you can on there. Just never hit pay. It won't let you if you're too far away anyway, so you're fine. So just play around on it. Learn all of the buttons and get used to it, because it is going to be your lifeline on your Disney vacation. This is the Disney app that holds everything. Your dining reservations, your tickets, your room, everything.
You can
photos.
See wait times, you can order food, everything.
This app does a lot. And people make jokes all the time that it could be pretty slow, but honestly, when we sit here and rattle off everything that it does, it's pretty quick.
Surprising how fast it is.
Yeah, right?
Also on My Disney Experience app, make sure you add all of your family that you're going with. Make sure they have accounts and that they are added onto your group. This will help for things like dining reservations. This will help you get things like virtual queue. It'll make sure your whole group is together for these things, like how Guardians has their virtual queue. If you're not all in the same group on the app, it's going to be a pain to get everybody together. You're going to have to go to guest services and have them figure it out, and it's never fun to have to do that when you could be going and riding rides and getting food and having a good time, and you're stuck in line now trying to get this figured out because you didn't do this farther out.
Very true.
So just be prepared for it.
It's also very important for photos. If you have photos of one person scares their magic band, everybody who's in your group, everyone on your My Disney Experience will get to see it. Mm-hmm. So adding friends and family who you'll be traveling with to your My Disney Experience is very crucial for a smooth vacation.
Yeah.
Especially if you have, I don't know, let's say you're one of 5 kids and each of you is married with children. Mm-hmm. All 5 families are going. All right, well, maybe the parents add each other on My Disney Experience and be able to have the connection already there.
Yeah.
And another thing you can do by downloading My Disney Experience in that 3 to 6 month window and kind of playing around on it, play around with Genie Plus and the Genie system.
Important thing to learn.
So Genie is free on My Disney Experience. Mm-hmm. Anyone can use it. It's just going to give you ideas for the day. Totally free to use. Genie Plus, that is going to be a paid edition on My Disney Experience where you get lightning lanes where you can cut the lines. So play around with it a little bit. Maybe look into Genie Plus a little bit and see if it's something that you'd be interested in. Yeah. Play around with Genie on the app while you're at home. Again, just getting used to that app, learning the buttons, learning what you need to do when you're there will help you so much once you get there.
Yeah.
3 to 6 months out, we're also going to recommend this is when, if you didn't already start doing this, you start buying gift cards. If you plan on using gift cards to pay for things, start buying them ahead of time, a little bit at a time, especially if maybe you're a once a week Sam's Club shopper, once a month Sam's Club shopper. Maybe add a gift card to that list. Could definitely be very helpful.
It'll save you money in the long run.
Disney has a gift card website that you can go on. Once you have all of your ones, maybe you bought them in bulk at Sam's Club, you can go on and combine them all into one card.
Yeah.
So you can pick your favorite and put them all on there and then only carry one around. All right. We've done a year out. We've done 3 to 6 months out. Here's where it's going to get busy leading up to your Disney vacation. 60 days out from your Disney vacation.
It's never felt closer.
First things first. Do I go with the obvious one?
Sure, why not?
All right, dining reservations are open. Reservations are open at Walt Disney World. You can put in for where you want to eat. And then here's the trick that we're going to tell you. This trick is only helpful if you are staying on Walt Disney property. If you are staying in an off-property hotel, this trick is not going to work for you.
Notable.
What?
Notable.
When you're staying on Disney property, you have 60 days out from the start of your vacation to book your dining. From those 60 days, once you hit it, you have the length of your vacation to book it. If your vacation starts on March 1st, you can book 60 days before March 1st.
Yeah.
Now, let's say your vacation is 7 days long. You can book from March 1st to March 9th.
So you can book 60 days out from the start of your trip for your whole trip.
For your entire trip.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be exactly 60 days out from whatever that day is.
Yes.
So if your trip is in 30 days and it's a 7-day trip, you can book any day.
Well,
even though it's 30 days out.
Yeah, 30 days.
60 days.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute.
60 days.
You tried to dumb it down and made it harder.
It's just how I do.
So,
my specialty.
So the difference is when you're staying off property, if your trip was on March 1st, you can only book till March 1st. And then the next day you can book March 2nd and the next day March 3rd. So what we recommend is if you are booking your dining, if you don't have a travel agent who's doing it for you, you are doing this yourself. On 60 days out from March 1st, whatever is the harder to get dining, let's say you want to eat at Cinderella's Royal Table.
Yeah.
Try and get that for maybe on the 9th or the 8th, like later in your trip, because that puts you at such an advantage over the people who aren't staying on Disney property or whose trips aren't that long or haven't started yet. So at 60 days, your resort check-in will also open on the My Disney Experience app. What this means is you can go onto the My Disney Experience app, and when you click on My Resort, it'll give you the option to do an online check-in ahead of time. And when you do this, you can put in your request for what room that you want. You can't do specifics on the app, but you can put if you want a first or a third floor. You can put if you want to be near the main building, if you want to be near transportation, different things like that that might be important to you. You can make a request. Places where this might be really important is, say, Caribbean Beach. There's no elevators. So if you are going to be pushing strollers, or if you have a wheelchair, or you just don't want stairs at the end of the day, you can request the first floor at Caribbean Beach. Everything is just a request. Keep that in mind. Nothing is guaranteed, but you can also put in what time you'll be getting there. You're going to give Disney all of this information when you're doing your online check-in that can be done 60 days in advance.
Yeah. Next big thing. Not as super pressing, but still important. If you're going to get new shoes before your trip, because you know you're going to be walking a lot, make sure you break them in. Probably start around this time. You don't have to start quite this early necessarily, but probably start soon. Breaking your shoes in and getting used to walking in them. Because there's nothing worse than trying to break in a brand new pair of shoes on your first day of vacation, and you have 2 heel blisters now. And the rest of your vacation is spent covering them up with Band-Aids and struggling through walking 10 miles a day.
Okay, so this is actually why I stuck this in the 60-day spot, because my thought is 30 days is not enough time for your feet to heal if you're trying to break in shoes, because you need time for them to heal and then wear the shoes again.
Yeah, I guess.
So you need, if you have shoes that are going to be super uncomfortable, you need time to fully let your feet heal in between. So that was my thought on this one. That's why I put it at 60 days. If anything, I might have even put it earlier on there than 60 days, but I am a psycho when it comes to my shoes. If I'm in uncomfortable shoes, I am an uncomfortable person. I can't do it.
Well, the other thing too is we're open to close people, and people listening might be okay with just going back and giving their feet a break, but we're not.
But you know what? Even people who go back and give their feet a break, they probably walk about 5 miles in a day.
Yeah.
Some people walk not at all in a normal day.
Yeah.
Maybe the most that they get in an average day is 1 to 2, just doing normal walking around the stores and walking around at work.
Stuff,
nothing too crazy. So that's why breaking your shoes and starting a walking regimen, if you're not already doing that, and getting used to walking, if it's not something that you do on a daily basis, even just adding in a nightly walk to your routine could really help you in Disney. There is like a physical aspect to Disney. Did I word that right? I can't word anything right today. There is an aspect of Disney that needs to be done like physically beforehand to make it more comfortable for you when you're there.
Yeah. Agreed.
Especially in the heat. If you're not used to walking at all and then you get there and it's hot and you're walking, you're going to be so miserable.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. So definitely keep that in mind if you're planning on getting some new shoes. If you haven't already, we got some things transportation-wise that we got to set up. So first thing is, if you're getting a rental car, make sure you have that set up. Mears Connect, if you're going to be doing that from the airport to your hotel, make sure you get that set up. Or if you're going to get a taxi or a limo. Or an Uber, you can also get those set up. I don't think you can set up an Uber that early out.
But no, I don't know if you can do it that far in advance.
But all the other ones are like services that you get at the airport. Make sure you have that all set up 60 days out.
Yeah, these can be done later. I just feel like this is something that it's an expense that if you want to pay it earlier, get it out of the way. 60 days out is probably a good time to start looking at it. Mears Connect, you can actually book up to a year out. So when you book your trip, you can book your Mears Connect if you want. You do need your flight information.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. If you haven't booked your flight yet, you can't do it. Although usually by about 60 days, it's depending on where you're flying from, that's about when the flights are about as cheap as they'll be.
Yeah, you probably have your flight booked by now.
Yeah.
So
solid time to start looking in to get your transportation all booked and ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, 30 days.
We're so close.
We're so close to going to Disney. Number 1, your final payment is due. If you've been paying it off this whole time because you put that $200 deposit and you've been putting $5 on in a month, you're going to have a pretty big final payment. If you've been putting a few hundred on in a month and you still have a little bit left, it's going to be due when it's 30 days out from your vacation. And again, this is if you have a room and ticket package. If you just buy tickets, they're going to be paid for in full when you purchase them. If you just get a room, you're going to pay for, I believe it's 1 night, and then the rest of it is paid for when you get there or if you call Disney and ask to pay it off. Mm-hmm. So, final payment is due. On the same note, but a more negative way, if you want to cancel, this is your last chance. If you have a room and ticket package, you put your $200 deposit, you've been paying it off, and now you're like, never mind, we're not going. My kids are being really bad. I'm taking away their Disney trip.
Yeah.
This is your last chance to cancel and get a full refund.
Yeah.
So, now or never. 30 days out.
You're committing. Last thing we have on the list, if you are going to be ordering groceries for your trip, if you want to get snacks for in the park, if you want to have stuff in your room for breakfast in the morning, if you want to get like microwavable sandwiches or something, if you just want food so you don't have to buy every single meal, get your list going. You don't have to buy it yet. You can't. I don't even know if you can order it this far out on any of the apps that you would get it, but just get your list going. Text your group, ask them what they want. That way you can get one solid list together and just do one order, and it's a lot easier for everybody.
And cheaper. A lot of them charge shipping prices now.
Yeah.
They're done with all those deals. Okay, now here's the big one. This is our longest list.
We're almost there.
We are 1 to 2 weeks out. So actually for this, think of this as like 2 weeks until arrival day. This is what you have to do. So 11 days is your last chance to pre-order your Magic Bands. We said that for the last one, but this is your reminder. When you're in that 2-week window, you're running out of time. If you are pre-ordering those Magic Bands, you want to get them at a discount, 11 days is your last chance to do it. Mm-hmm. In case you haven't already, buy Memory Maker. If you're buying Memory Maker, this is a huge one when it comes to saving money. It's not even that much money, but like it's just such a easy mistake to make.
Yeah.
And we want you to avoid making that mistake. So if you buy Memory Maker before your trip, it's $185. If you buy it once you get there, it's $210.
Just saves you a little bit of money.
Saves a little bit of money. So you have up until 3 days before the start of your vacation to purchase Memory Maker with the advanced purchase to save the money. So make sure you do this ahead of time. This is something that's actually going to be offered when you're booking your trip and you have your room and ticket package, or if you're just buying the tickets, it's going to say, do you want to add Memory Maker?
Yeah.
So this is going to be offered way back, but you can say no and then come back to it later. Maybe you were buying the tickets, no room, and it was too much to add it on financially all at one time. Mm-hmm. No worries. You can add it on later. Just make sure you do it before the 3 days before. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay $210. And I know it's only $25, but that makes such a difference.
It does. It makes a huge difference.
I'm too cheap to lose $25 because I waited an extra 3 days.
I mean, we're buying gift cards to save $5, so.
That's true.
If that doesn't explain it.
You're right.
Get packing. You're close. 1 to 2 weeks. Maybe you're 3 days if you're a procrastinator. Just get your packing going. I'm the kind of person that I have to pack, unpack, pack again, and then probably unpack and pack again one more time, just because I always feel like I'm forgetting something. If you're like that too, definitely start early, because it's not as quick as you think it's gonna be.
This is actually really funny that you said that, because my note here was, this is 1 to 2 weeks out, depending on who you are as a person. And for me, I am a night before packer. It's like, I'll start buying things, like if I know there's things that I need to purchase for the trip. Like I said, we did a whole episode last week about things to buy to make Disney a little bit cheaper. So I'll start doing that many, many weeks out. But as far as actually packing a bag, it's not getting packed till the night before I'm supposed to leave.
No, packing for me is I have the suitcase out for the entire week leading up to my vacation, and I'm throwing stuff in as I go, as I have it.
Yeah, no.
Helps build the hype and excitement of the vacation.
I'll start putting things like in a pile, but my issue is that I'm like, oh, I really want to wear those shorts today, and I grabbed them out of the pile. So like the only thing that I will have that will get packed and not unpacked, like it will make it to the trip, is I buy a fresh pack of socks every vacation. Like if it's like a real week-long vacation, I'm buying a fresh pack of socks, and that'll go in my bag. And it won't leave my bag. I will not let myself open it before the trip. But if I have like a pair of shorts or something, I'm like, let me get those. While you're packing, first ask yourself, did you buy everything on our pre-pack list? How did I wear this? On our pre-purchase list? Probably not. You're not going to need everything that we said. But listen to last week's episode if you need some ideas of things to buy beforehand. And then the other thing, did you check the weather? At 2 weeks out, you can kind of get an idea of the weather for when you're going to be there. You'll get that predicted weather.
It's probably going to rain.
It's going to rain. It's definitely going to rain.
It's Florida. It's probably going to rain.
But this could make a big difference on what you pack, especially if you're going in, let's say, like February or March. March is so weird.
Yeah.
It can be so cold or so hot. So check the weather, figure out what the temperature is going to be, because this could make a difference in what you're packing.
The sweatshirt I'm wearing right now, if you're watching the video, I got this while I was down there visiting Gina in November, because I planned on it being warm, and it was not warm.
It was
so
so
I
cold.
had to spend money on the sweatshirt.
And then the next week, it was nice and warm.
Exactly. So definitely keep an eye on the weather, because it gets weird in the winter months.
All right, and we're coming back to it. We're talking about magic bands again. This is not going to be the last time. Let's say you now have your magic bands. You pre-ordered them, they came in. You're in that 2-week window. You're looking for something to do to get yourself excited for Disney. Check and make sure your magic bands are synced. When you go on your My Disney Experience app, there will be an option to see all of your magic bands, tickets, and cards that you have on there. And on the back of your magic band is going to be a code. Make sure that the code on your magic band matches the code on the app. That means that they are already synced. Disney syncs them before they send them to you. So you should be good to go with no issue. It never hurts to check it, though, because it would really stink if you get there and it's not synced, and that's one more thing, like Rick said, that now you're going to guest services to have them fix it when it could have already been done and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So check that before you get there. If you have a Magic Band Plus, make sure that it's charged.
Yes, very important.
And then one big thing that I like to do before we go, this is, I guess, another thing I pack with my pack of socks.
Yeah.
I always attach my magic band to the bag that I'm bringing so that I don't forget it. I attach it, and then that day when I'm leaving, I put it on and I wear it in the airport. I wear it everywhere, because if it's not on me, I will forget it because of who I am as a person.
Yeah.
So attach it to your bag whenever you get them and they're synced and you're good to go. Attach it so you don't forget it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. That's just something I like to do.
It's just a pro tip.
Yeah, something I like doing to make sure that I have it with me.
Yeah. If you need them, get your travel documents together. So, in this case, flights, which is probably most of you listening, get all the flight documents together, your boarding passes, your license or passport, whatever you're using to get on the plane. Make sure you have that all together. And you should probably actually do this before, in case you need to get new ID or anything like that.
What, before the 2 weeks out?
Yeah. Because if you realize you don't have an updated license or something.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a license pretty quick.
Yeah. Or passport if you're coming from
Well, if you're
somewhere else.
coming where you need a passport, this whole list would change probably for a good amount of it. So, but yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do that at your discretion.
Yeah.
For me, within that 2 week window, that's when I'll start to get all my paperwork together. What papers do I need? Do I want to have a printed out version of certain confirmation codes? I actually have on here to take screenshots of confirmation codes that you might need because you never know if you're going to have service or not. So that's something that you could do. Take a screenshot of your boarding pass. Take a screenshot of your Mears Connect boarding pass. Have that all good to go. Be sure you have cash. Go to the bank and get cash out if you're not someone who normally has cash. I know I never have cash on me anymore.
Most people don't.
Yes, because there's a lot of people to tip on arrival and departure day. Again, tips are always optional, but always appreciated.
Yeah.
Mears Connect drivers are going to be carrying your suitcases. At Disney, there might be bellhops carrying your bags. Like, people can move your bags from one room to another. And the last thing I want to note, and this applies to literally every single time frame on this.
Yeah.
And this is something that you can avoid if you use a travel agent. But if you're doing this yourself, which is fine, people love booking these things on their own, make sure to keep checking back for discounts.
Yeah.
Your travel agent will do this for you if you have a travel agent. If you have a travel agent, you can still check back and then text them and be like, hey, I found this discount. They probably already know about it and already applied it for you. But Disney will retroactively apply discounts to your booking. So if there was a booking, if you booked something, you paid full price at the time of booking, and then they released a 30% off discount.
If you're a Florida resident going to Disney on select dates between July and October.
What he said. They will apply that 30% discount and refund you the 30%. Mm-hmm. Some people will take that money and upgrade something else. Some people just take the money back. Whatever you want to do with it, that's up to you. But keep checking back and do this from a year out all the way up to your trip. Keep checking back and see if any discounts have happened that you can apply to your trip. Maybe you became eligible for a discount because you got a credit card or you... I don't know, you bought an annual pass. Maybe something like that will make you eligible for it. Just keep checking back and see what you can do. Your travel agent will keep checking back for you and get you the best deal that they possibly can, especially if they're a 407 and beyond travel agent. I'm just saying. But keep checking back for a discount the whole time frame. You'll be so happy when you get that refund.
Oh, yeah.
You never know what you're eligible for.
Yeah.
That's it. That's our pre-Disney checklist.
I think that was pretty in-depth.
Pretty thorough.
Yeah.
Did we miss something? Do you have something that you do that we didn't add? Let us know. Send us a message online. You can send us on social media at Spility Podcast or at Spility Pod on TikTok. You can send us an email if you want, spilitypod@gmail.com.
Are you the planner or are you the park princess? Let us know that.
Yeah, let us know. Did you just listen to this for fun because you enjoy hearing us talk, or are you the planner and you needed this information? Let us know. I want to get you a shirt that says Park Princess, actually. Like Theme Park Princess.
Okay.
That'd be really cute. Oh, that's so fun. But that's all we have for now. Until next time, everybody, we will
See you at the castle.